A letter of Sri Aurobindo on the 15th August Darshan. Question. X told me that only 10 days were left for the August 15th Darshan. I replied that every day should be considered as the 15th. Sri Aurobindo's answer. That is the right attitude. Every day should be regarded as a day when a descent may take place or a contact established with the higher consciousness. Then the 15th itself would be more successful. Here is a letter of Sri Aurobindo written on 7th July 1947, a month after Lord Mountbatten announced on 3rd June that India would be granted independence on 15th August. I have always said that the spiritual force I have been putting on human affairs, such as the war, is not the supramental, but the overmind force, and that when it acts in the material world is so inextricably mixed up in the tangle of the lower world forces that its results, however strong or however adequate to the immediate object, must necessarily be partial. That is why I am getting a birthday present of a free India on August 15, but complicated by its being presented in 2 packets as 2 free Indias. This is a generosity I could have done without. 1 free India would have been enough for me if offered as an unbroken whole. Sri Aurobindo, 7th July, 1947. Sri Aurobindo's message for the 15th of August, 1947. August 15th, 1947 is the birthday of free India. It marks for her the end of an old era, the beginning of a new age. But we can also make it, by our life and acts as a free nation, an important date in a new age opening for the whole world, for the political, social, cultural, and spiritual future of humanity. August 15th is my own birthday, and it is naturally gratifying to me that it should have assumed this vast significance. I take this coincidence not as a fortuitous accident, but as the sanction and seal of the divine force that guides my steps on the work with which I began life, the beginning of its full fruition. Indeed, on this day, I can watch almost all the world movements which I hoped to see fulfilled in my lifetime, though then they looked like impracticable dreams, arriving at fruition or on their way to achievement. In all these movements, free India may well play a large part and take a leading position. The first of these dreams was a revolutionary movement which would create a free and united India. India today is free, but she has not achieved unity. The old communal division into Hindus and Muslims seems now to have hardened into a permanent political division of the country. It is to be hoped that this settled fact will not be accepted as settled forever or as anything more than a temporary expedient. For if it lasts, India may be seriously weakened, even crippled. India's internal development and prosperity may be impeded, her position among the nations weakened, her destiny impaired or even frustrated. This must not be. The partition must go. By whatever means, in whatever way, the division must go. Unity must and will be achieved, for it is necessary for the greatness of India's future. Another dream was for the resurgence and liberation of the peoples of Asia and her return to her great role in the progress of human civilization. There, India has her part to play and has begun to play it with an energy and ability which already indicate the measure of her possibilities and the place she can take in the council of the nations. The third dream was a world union forming the outer basis of a fairer, brighter, and nobler life for all mankind. That unification of the human world is underway. Here too, India has begun to play a prominent part, and her presence may make all the difference between a slow and timid and a bold and swift development. Another dream, the spiritual gift of India to the world, has already begun. India's spirituality is entering Europe and America in an ever-increasing measure. That movement will grow. Amid the disasters of the time, more and more eyes are turning towards her with hope, and there is even an increasing resort not only to her teachings, but to her psychic and spiritual practice. The final dream was a step in evolution which would raise man to a higher and larger consciousness and begin the solution of the problems which have perplexed and vexed him since he first began to think and to dream of individual perfection and a perfect society. Here too, the initiative can come from India, and although the scope must be universal, the central movement may be hers. Such is the content which I put into this date of India's liberation. Whether or how far this hope will be justified depends upon the new and free India.
Bhagavate Sri Aravindaaya.